And I still do this to this day. I have slight variations, but I still do the core of this to this day. And I've been doing it over 10 years. So it's get up at least 2 hours before you need to be anywhere or start work or do something. I'm not going to sell you on the 5 a.m., the 4 a.m. club and all that bollocks. I don't think that's right. Just 2 hours before you need to do something. You need to be somewhere. You need to get something done. I always spend probably 30 minutes to an hour exercising, prepare the body for the day, and then reading or watching a video, listening to a podcast, doing some form of self-development, which prepares your mind for the day. So you prepared your body, you prepared your mind. You will perform better, make better decisions for the rest of that day if you've prepared your body and your mind. So that's the first step that you can all do from today or from tomorrow, which definitely, well, majority of the time, you end up having a better day. You achieve a little bit more, you progress more, you're a bit more productive if you've done those two things in the morning before you need to be anywhere or do something. That's step one. Step two is a really, really simple concept. AJ, I'm sure, is good at this, being in the mortgage world that I've been in, the AJ's in. You've got that many plates that you're spinning. You need to-do lists. You absolutely need to-do lists. And it's such a simple thing to do, to-do lists. But loads of people still don't do them. For whatever reason or another, I've just got a note section in my phone. Because sometimes you can just be a busy fool. Sometimes you can end up spending time on non-productive tasks, non-profitable tasks, because they're easier than the ones that you should be doing. So writing a to-do list, normally the night before. And then step three is putting those in priorities. And that's as simple as, what's the most profitable thing on my list today? Focus on that one thing before you go to the next thing. And it's this really simple concept, this. And, you know, I run 11 companies. And at one point, there was over 150 staff. Like, you can't do all of that and spin all of these plates without a bit of a system, a bit of a process. And it doesn't need to be really complicated with loads of mad Excel spreadsheets and CRM systems and all that bollocks. It can just be a to-do list. And you work on the most profitable. Once you've done the most profitable, you work on the second most profitable. Once you've done the second, you do the third. And it's as simple as that. And Brian Tracy said, you will increase your productivity by 25% day one by doing that. So be honest with yourself. Are you doing that? Because you might not. I don't know. You might be, you might not be. Step four is, on those particular tasks, it's tunnel vision, it's laser focus, one thing at a time. Who's been there? I definitely have, where you're middle of a task, ping, 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 emails are going off, Facebook's going off, Danny's getting his 8,000 notifications a day. But there's distractions everywhere. You can't, in the day and age that we live in, you can't avoid distraction. No, you can't avoid the being things that may distract you. They're always going to be there. It's how disciplined you are to stay on track. And who's been there where you're middle of a task, ping, 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 you get distracted. It's actually quite hard to get back on track and get in the swing of what you were doing. It's actually quite difficult to do that. So just by being tunnel vision, laser focus, one thing at a time, you will be more productive. You will get more done. Think about having 150 staff. If anyone's got staff, think about how many times them WhatsApp groups go off on my phone, like on a daily basis. Like it's really difficult to manage and juggle when there's that many people who want your attention and want your help with something. But you just have to be disciplined enough to do one thing at a time. Don't pick up the phone. Don't look on social media. It will distract you. Step five is a really simple one. Is if you're driving or exercising or getting ready for work, whatever, is listen to audio. Because you might not take it all in, you probably won't take it all in, but you might just take one thing that spurs you on for that day or applies to your current situation that just changes your mindset or gives you a little bit of a kick up the arse. Or you might think, you know what, that's right, I'm going to do that. But if you're driving, what's the options? What? Listen to music, listen to Radio 1 or Kiss or Kisstory or fucking Smooth if you're a bit older. Like, what's your options? Like, AJ definitely listens to Smooth, doesn't he? AJ definitely listens to Smooth. But what is your options, right? You can listen to crap, or you can actually improve yourself when you're driving or when you're exercising. Habit stacking by listening to different things. And there's a thing that Brian Tracy says, in order to get a doctoral degree, to be a doctor, you have to read, I can't remember the stat, I think it's 50 books. and combine them and put them into a dissertation, into regular projects or whatever it is you do. I didn't even go to school, never mind university, so I'm not really sure, but the stat is something like that. But think about listening to 50 audio books on property, right? How much better are you going to be at property investing or developing by listening to 50 audio books? Like, how much better are you going to be? Like, and you can't say you can't afford Audible. It's £7 a month or something. You can afford it, so you can start tomorrow. And how much better would you actually be at your job? Even if it was one a month, that's 12 audio books a year. Think about how much better you're going to perform just by doing that. It's a really simple one, but it definitely works. Step 6 is the magic questions. This is quite hard to do. You've got to be quite self-aware, quite disciplined, quite self-analytical to do this. But after every situation that you're in, a situation that mattered, so it might be a meeting with an angel, it might be a networking event, a negotiation on a property, whatever, right? Something that you do on a day-to-day basis that helps you progress. Try and discipline yourself to, after that meeting or after that situation, to sit down and just put a line down your bit of paper. What did I do right and what can I do different next time? Because even if you didn't get the angel investment, there'll be things that you're doing right. And if you got 50 grand, why didn't you get 100? What can you do different to try and get a better outcome, right? And you can apply this to a negotiation. If you got the deal or you didn't, there's still positives and negatives whether you got the deal or not. And there's things you can do better. Don't focus on what did you do wrong. Focus on what you did right and what can you do different. Because if you focus on what you did wrong, your brain records it as a command, and sometimes you'll end up doing the same thing over and over again. Whereas if you focus on what did I do different or what can I do different, your brain will record that as a command and focus on what you can do different next time to get a better outcome. So this point is just about being self-analytical, self-aware enough to look back on situations and try and improve. That's how I've improved constantly. And every business I've ever been involved in, we've improved every year. And this is part of it. It's being self-aware enough to actually do this. Not thinking you know everything and you're the finished product by just focusing on what you did right because it's all going well. It's actually focusing on, even when times are great and you're nailing it, buying loads of property, doing whatever, achieving your goals, what can you do to get you to the next level? Because there's always someone who does more than you. And that's step 6. Step 7 is an interesting one. I think we'll all be able to relate to this. And I don't do it every time, I must admit. It is quite difficult. It is treat everybody like £1 million customer. So that's a bit general to business. How you make it specific to property would be, if you're sitting down with an investor, an angel, who's talking about lending you 50 grand, I think it's human nature, and I think it's fair to say that pretty much everybody would treat that angel different to one who was talking about lending you £1 million. The one who lent you £1 million, you'd be on the ball, you'd be early, you'd be dressed the part, you'll be prepping, you'll be speaking to people beforehand to get your pitch right. You just would. You would speak a little bit different, act a little bit different. But how you might actually end up, that 50 grand angel might end up being £1 million angel. You don't know. So if you just treat everybody like £1 million customer, and you treat everybody with respect, you treat them nice, you're kind, you're honest, you show your integrity, you just be a nice person, in turn, I think it comes back to you. It definitely happens in business, this. You don't screw anybody over, you don't backstab, there's no need. Your reputation's important in business, and it's important in property, especially if you're dealing with angels.